Have you ever noticed how Epsom salt gets recommended for basically everything in the garden? Yellow leaves? Use Epsom salt. Weak tomatoes? Use Epsom salt. Peppers not producing? Use Epsom salt. Blossom end rot? Somehow people still say Epsom salt. But here's the truth. Epsom salt is one of the most overhyped garden fixes out there. And that doesn't mean it's useless. It just means gardeners use it for way more problems than it actually solves. I actually wrote a full post on Gardener Basics called How to Use Epsom Salt for Plants and When Not to, because this is one of those gardening tips that gets repeated over and over without much context. So first, what even is Epsom salt? Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. Plants do need magnesium because it helps with chlorophyll production, which is tied to green leaves. But just because a nutrient matters does not mean more is better. Now, to be fair, Epsom salt can help in certain situations. If a plant truly has a magnesium deficiency, then Epsom salt may be useful. One classic sign is yellowing between the veins on older leaves while the veins stay green. That's one reason gardeners often reach for it with tomatoes and peppers. So this is not one of those never use it conversations. It's more like this. Use it for the right reason, not just because the internet said so. And that brings me to the biggest myth of all. Epsom salt does not fix blossom end rot. Blossom end rot is related to calcium in the fruit and often inconsistent watering. Epsom salt contains magnesium sulfate, not calcium, and too much magnesium can actually interfere with the calcium uptake. So if someone tells you to toss Epsom salt into the planting hole to prevent blossom end rot, that tip sounds smart, but it's not solving the real issue. And here's another thing gardeners need to know. Epsom salt is not a general fertilizer. It does not contain nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium. So if your plant is pale, weak, stunted, or just generally unhappy, Epsom salt may not help at all if the real issue is something else. A lot of gardeners are not doing anything wrong on purpose. They're just trying to help their plants. They hear a tip often enough, it sounds cheap, natural, harmless, so they try it. But sometimes a struggling plant does not need a trendy fix. It needs a real diagnosis. Yellow leaves do not automatically mean magnesium deficiency. A tomato problem does not automatically mean Epsom salt. Sometimes the real issue is watering, sometimes it's soil conditions, sometimes it's a different nutrient deficiency. I don't want to make Epsom salt sound evil because it's not, but I also don't want to pretend it's some miracle product either. It has a place, it has limits, and gardeners are better off when we talk about both. So here's the bottom line. The truth about Epsom salt is that it's not magic. It's magnesium sulfate. If your plants truly need magnesium, it may help. If they don't, it may do nothing at all, and in some cases, too much can even create more problems than it solves. And if you want the full written breakdown, I have a post on gardenerbasics.com called How to Use Epsom Salt for Plants and When Not to, where I go deeper into where it may help, when it won't, and what to watch for instead. If you've ever used Epsom salt in your garden, tell me what you used it on and whether you think it actually helped.